In a league with all the eyes and attention on its players, it's hard for players to fall quietly. With all the expectations that come from NBA draft picks, especially lottery picks, they get a microscope under their career for the first couple of years. However, there have been some recent NBA busts that have been forgotten by the public, despite them being high draft picks on some high expectations. So today I wanted to go over some recent NBA busts that have been forgotten and see what happened to them and what went wrong. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Jarrett Culver is the one that inspired me to make this video. Coming out of Texas Tech in 2019, he was one of the most high prospects in that draft class. Amongst the noise of Zion and Ja in that class, he was drafted 6th overall. I remember the hype at the time, and scouts and fans all loved him. Comparisons to Jimmy Butler was popular as he was a scrappy wing with great defense. He was drafted in Minnesota, and it's clear now that Ant is what Culver was supposed to be. Jarrett did suffer some injuries in his career, and he played the most games in a season in his rookie season with 63. However, his inability to shoot the basketball or improve his offensive game all caused his career to crumble. The comparisons of Jimmy Butler would have been valid if he was able to develop. He continued to fall off his rookie year and on his third team in the league by his 4th season with the Hawks. At just 24 and 2023, his NBA career was already over. Culver was undoubtedly a bust, but why don't many people talk about him or remember him? I think this is due to him being a classic bust. No major injury, no off-the-court scandals. His game didn't translate to the NBA. On top of Ant being drafted 1st overall the next year and taking over the team and the league, it made it easier for the Wolves fans and NBA fans to forget about him. Lastly, Zion and Ja, while not being busts, have disappointed this draft class as well, overshadowing Culver's NBA career. Sekou Doumbouya was drafted in 2019, and despite being drafted outside the lottery, he was still hyped as a great prospect and a steal for the Pistons. He was a true raw prospect with crazy tools to be developed. At the time, the Pistons just made the playoffs, and they viewed him as one of the players they could build around for the future. He missed quite a bit of games in the first 2 years, including more than half his rookie season, and was facing a very crowded front court, trying to find minutes over Blake Griffin, Christian Wood, and at his best, Andre Drummond, and even Isaiah Stewart in his early career. After his second season, he just played for 2 more games for the Lakers and was out of the league. He was a true project player that just needed to be developed, but he didn't have nearly the support system around him to succeed with the Pistons. Better players ahead of him played, and injuries got in the way of consistent playing time. On top of that, I think the reason why he is forgotten is because Killian Hayes was drafted a year after, and then the year after that, Cade was drafted. Hayes was one of the most famous busts that the NBA community ragged on for a while, and Cade took over the franchise immediately when he wasn't even on the team, making NBA fans forget about him. I've always wondered what kind of player he could have been if he was put in a better situation, but it looks like he'll just be forgotten in NBA history. Whitmore was once called the steal of the 2023 draft as the Rockets looked to have snagged their scorer of the future. Paired with Amen Thompson, the Rockets looked to be the winners of this draft. But just a few years later, Whitmore finds himself on the Wizards struggling to get on the court. With a mix of injury and poor play, he has missed a large majority of his potential career games. He only played 21 games last season for the Wizards, and with a bunch of new hype and faces on the team, he'll be further pushed down on the depth chart. The thing with Whitmore is he's just a scorer and he can't do anything else. He isn't even a good shooter, making his gameplay very limited. In today's league, that just won't cut it. Look at players like Cam Thomas, for example. On top of that, he's been missing games on teams like the Wizards and Rockets with so much young talent, it's hard for him to get in the mix for minutes. With the addition of AJ, the Wizards now have a clear direction to build around him, and will likely forget about Whitmore like the rest of the league will quickly move on from him. The John Salon has been the 6th overall draft pick in 2024, and has completely been forgotten in Charlotte. The players drafted in the years around him with Miller and Khan have completely taken over the franchise. Similar to Whitmore, he has missed a lot of time due to injury as he just played 37 games last season. Well, he has played like a complete project like Sekou as well. Lastly, he has a lot of people in front of him in the depth chart. Kneppel, Brandon Miller, and on top of that, Miles Bridges when he was there. Their center rotation is stacked as well, and he can't really play any smaller. Now with Naz Reid in the fold alongside Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal, it'll be hard to justify starting him or playing him over proven veterans if he is trying to develop. I think what makes him forgettable this early on into his NBA career is people kinda already knew before he started with the Hornets they made the wrong pick. On top of that, the 2024 draft class has been weird to assess and has a bigger question mark than number 1 with Zachary Sachet. Jerome Robinson was in that stacked 2018 draft class that will go down as one of the best of all time. He was drafted around the likes of MPJ, Mikal Bridges, and SGA, but his career was a complete bust. He barely played when he was healthy in the league, and when he did, it didn't translate. He has some solid stretches here and there, but has been out of the league for 2 or so years now. So why did NBA fans forget about him if he was an obvious sore thumb in a stacked draft class? I think this has to do with the fact that he was a bottom of the lottery pick, with 2 top picks in the draft class in Bagley and Aiden, despite becoming NBA role players, are now large busts. Especially Aiden, who was drafted 1st overall and was hyped up really well by the media. Another factor to think about is that he was drafted to the same team at the same time as SGA. They both played for the Clippers, and from the start it was clear that SGA was way better, completely overshadowing Robinson. Add in the fact that he didn't do anything of note in the league, and it would make sense that he has been forgotten. Johnny Davis was the 10th pick in the 2022 draft by the Wizards. He was a bit of an older prospect, and honestly, he was most well known for being completely terrible in his rookie season. I remember watching clips and memes, seeing people talk about how bad he was in the NBA in his rookie season. However, it didn't get any better for him as he continued to play terribly and he was out of the league in just 3 years. On top of missing a large chunk of his career games due to injury, he has also honestly been a very unmemorable and generic name. Lastly, him playing for the Wizards while they were completely clueless on what they were doing added him to fading into the background. While the memes and the clips of him being terrible in the NBA was funny at the moment, it would make sense why he has been completely forgotten for such a bust of a career. It is very rare for NBA busts to go under the radar in today's NBA, especially considering that we have less and less terrible draft busts each year. However, each one of these players have slipped through the cracks of NBA history and have been forgotten by most NBA fans. Whether it's them not being interesting, them being overshadowed, or injuries, these NBA bust careers have not had the same remembrance as a Bennett or a Darko. As the years go on and the NBA continues to be more talented, NBA busts will be few and far between, and on this list will only continue to grow as they are overshadowed by the successful peers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.